Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video. I'm doing a VR to Livy from Crescent Dreams Tarot. I don't think I ever saw her channel till very recently. I saw this tag coming up in recommendations, and I really liked the thought behind it, in the sense of, well, creating community, So I thought they had a very good idea, and I wanted to, well, tag along. I will put the same prompt she put up in the description. Um, the first question, because, well, let's dive directly in, was your name, preferred pronouns, and channel name. Well, my name is Phyllis. Hello. My preferred pronouns would be she, because I'm really trying to respect them, Livy, by saying that. But if I don't, please forgive me. I might be too old to change in certain ways. I'm really trying to, well, take notice, of a preferred pronoun. But yeah, I'm human. I make mistakes. But I'm a she, to make it easy. Um, the channel name right now is still my name, even though I do have, in the banner of the YouTube, I have Alkebalan Spirituality, which maybe will come with time that I will change it, but for now, it's just my full name, Phyllis Santusha de la Fuente. Well, that was question one. That was easy, right? um, the second question is, what got you first into tarot? Um, and if you have a channel, why did you create it? Well, let's start with the first. I've always been a reader. I started out with playing cards. Don't I have playing cards here? I should have some playing cards here. I'm sorry. I walked away. Oh. So yeah, I started with playing cards when I was younger. This was the method. This is how I got my answers. And for a long time, that was, well, the only divination form I really did. I got into tarot. It was after my aunt. She started to branch out a little bit, and she decided on Lenormand. And I remember going into this esoteric shop, right? And the lady behind the counter, I asked her some questions, about Lenormand, but also different systems. She recommended the Rider-Waite. And then she tried to get me off the Thoth, even though she did mention it as one of the systems, But she was trying to steer me away a little bit. And yeah, I'm a rebel. It's the same with books. If you tell me, I have no interest in a book, but if you tell me it's banned, or boycotted or whatever, I need to read it. I mean, my mind is directly like, okay, why? Why is it not good, Or why are you trying to boycott this or ban this or whatever? And because she was a little bit like that, like, no, Rider-Waite, you should start there. I was like, no, 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 no. I want both. um, and this is how I walked out with two decks, the Rider-Waite and the Thoth, and that is how my reading journey started. I think I was 19 or 20, maybe a little bit younger. And well, the second part was, if you have a channel, and why did you create it? Well, I do have a channel. Mine is fairly recent. Yeah, I think I started halfway of December. Well, it's still recent, right? Time flies because we're already starting with March, but still, very recent. And I created it. Why? Well, I wanted to do it for some time already, but, well, I'm a little bit of an introvert. I don't mind. I don't mind at all speaking my mind or what's on my heart. At the same time, I always feel like, yeah, but what if I say something wrong? And I don't really feel like getting into it with people, because I do know once I start, yeah, my mouth doesn't, well, stay quiet. um, so yeah, that was there was a little bit of like, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? And that went on for months. And I remember I came home from my job in the midday, and I was sitting here and I think I watched a video, and I was like, you know what? I want to start with a collection video. And without actually really thinking about it, I set up my camera, did the whole video, uh, and put it online. I was like, oh, I really did that. So after months of debating, it kind of sort of actually happened, you know. I'm a little bit glad that it did, you know, because my mind, I can talk myself into anything, but I can also talk myself out of anything. If I think hard enough, you know, there was always a reason. um, so yeah, that was a little bit about the second part. Then we're going into decks because, let me put this away. The question okay, I'm sorry. The question they put in number 3 was, what is your tarot aesthetic? So what kind of decks are you attracted to? Well, that is very hard because I'm a little bit evolving, I think. But I think for me, the main part, it needs to give me something. This is, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, but I cannot work, for example, with cute decks. I'm not really taking them seriously. I know that's me. That's not the deck. It's just me, you know. Probably it's not the deck. I don't know because I've never touched them. But decks like the Heindel Tarot or Tarot of the Spirit, you know, they have something extra. There is something, you know, in the way of, let me go with this one in a second. There is something in the way that they present themselves or that they read for me, then, you know, there is something intelligent about them. And I also say that a lot about the Thoth Tarot, for example. It's more than just pretty pictures. And again, don't come for me, you know, that might not always be the case, you know, but for me, these decks are more than just a pretty picture. The one that I don't have here, Margaret Peterson, you know, it's more than just a pretty picture. There is so much behind it, around it, involved with that one card. So yeah, decks like these are definitely my aesthetics. And I know that sounds weird because we talk about aesthetics. So we do talk about artwork in that sense, right? So a pretty picture, well, is definitely, well, one of the things that could or should maybe attract in the sense of aesthetics, right? But yeah, again, I never really go about that. I mean, a deck can attract me in that moment, you know, but I would never, well, never say never. I do have some mistakes in the sense of, because I wanted to say I never will buy a deck unseen, you know. It's not about, oh, I'm missing the surprise. I need to know that I can work with it. At the end of the day, I'm not a rich woman, you know. When I do invest in a deck, I want my money's worth, you know. And also, whether that's a very expensive deck or a mass market deck that we can get cheaper, you know, they need to do something for me. For example, when I saw this deck, this is, sorry, the Heindel Tarot. The first thing that I didn't like were the gray borders. I was like, but gray, why is it gray? But that was my first thought, you know. And then again, it's what I said before. I can talk myself into anything, but I can also talk myself out of everything. So when I really look deeper into this, at this point, yeah, I don't even notice the gray borders. That's not the focus, you know? It's what this deck does, what it has to tell me, the many layers that it has. Yeah, that are for me the important things. I think I have a pretty wide range because these are more serious decks. But this is, for example, any black artist deck, in all honesty, I'm going to be attracted to. This would normally not be my, I think would not be my preferred aesthetics, yet I love this deck. There is nothing about this deck that I want differently. The only thing I want differently is more cards. I always want more cards, especially when we talk Oracle, right? Because it has a high modern layer on it, right? The artwork and stuff like that. And to be honest, it was not something that would definitely attract me immediately. And I'm gonna tell you something very straight to the point. I think if this was, okay, that sounds harsh, but if this was a white deck, I would probably not have looked at it, which I know is bad. Don't get me wrong, I know. But in all honesty, I think I would have missed something. Because again, I love this deck. Yes, my first initial thought was, okay, it's a black creator. I think it looks okay. I can work with that. I can use that. Let me get it, And then when it was here, I was actually really, really happy. Because not only did it read great, like I said, I really bonded with it. It's not my normal aesthetic, but now I'm actually really loving it. I also found, okay, I'm gonna go off topic here, but this is too an aesthetic, is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I finally found an oracle that pairs beautifully and perfectly with my Voodoo Tarot. I really love the combination. They give me very in-depth messages, and the same with this. The art style, I think, if it wasn't a black deck, the art style would be something like, I don't know, even though I love this card, Obatala. But I might have thought like, I don't really know, But I think because the subject, this is what I'm getting to in the sense of aesthetic. It's the subject that really matters to me. How intelligent is the deck? How many layers has the deck? Can I really dive deep with this deck? Not in this deck, but with this deck, in my own personal growth and stuff like that. This is most important to me. For example, I did a walkthrough of this one, the Shrine of the Black Medusa. When this deck came in, I was almost disappointed. Yeah, it came in. I flipped through it, and I was like, well, all youngsters, close your eyes if you're listening. Shit. That's what I was thinking. Shit. I don't think this is for me. What am I gonna do? And in that moment, while I was thinking it, I was like, okay, it's a black creator, it's a black deck, just put it by your collection. And okay, well, you have it. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. I think I may have one or two decks like that. Yeah. And I said in my walkthrough, I was watching a YouTube video while I was looking through it. And in that moment, the video that I was watching, somebody said, I want to do an interview with this deck. And I normally don't really always do that, But in that moment, I was like, oh, that's great. Maybe that will help me out, to see where this deck might lie in my collection, how I can work with it. And the answer that came out of it shocked me because of the accuracy, This deck was actually just calling me out, It was telling me who I was, and how we were going to work together. And it did it in a very clever way because, again, it made me stop in my tracks. And it changed my mind literally in seconds, where 10 seconds ago I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this deck. Now I was like, oh my God, I love this deck. So again, I think I fall in love with a deck when we talk aesthetics, not just by pictures. It really needs to bring something to the table. And well, for example, a deck, when it came out, I really didn't want it simply because it was a popular deck. I never really looked at it. This is the Somnia Tarot. I never really looked at it because it was so popular in that sense, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Um, and in all honesty, I didn't really look at it. I think it was a couple of months ago. I was on the phone with my friend, and she talked about the Somnia Tarot, and I was like, no, because everybody likes it. It's not me. Again, without any foundation, in all honesty. Um, and then she talked about it, and I was like, you know what? Let me watch a walkthrough. I mean, some months have passed now. It's not like on the top of the popularity list anymore. Let me watch before I actually complain about a deck I never saw. And I actually really fell in love with this deck. For me, it was like my perfect watery deck with some earth in it. And again, a whole story about it, but I saw in that moment that not even my taste, I think, but I saw that I became more open to decks I might otherwise have never looked at. So I see a change in that sense in what I'm looking at, as well, a tarot lover. Okay, that was a very long answer. I'm sorry. um, the fourth question, it was, what tarot system is your favorite, and which do you want to learn? In all honesty, my absolute favorite is the Thoth. I love the Thoth. I think there's a lot of intelligence and layers in this deck. And yeah, no matter how many decks come out that are based on the Thoth or rooted in the Thoth, or yeah, however you want to call that, I don't think anything can really copy the Thoth tarot. It's just not possible. Not the way Rider-Waite is done. I don't have a problem with that. But when I see copies of the Thoth Tarot, I have a little bit more of a problem with that. I do, however, I don't have it here on my desk, but I got the Urban Tarot. The Urban Tarot, sorry. I do like that deck, because even though, yeah, it has that rooted in Thoth, um, but I like what he did with the chords, which gave it a little bit of extra. It made it different. Again, it brought something to the table. And oh, I forgot, this one is also Thoth based. So it would have been the first black creator and subject, black Thoth tarot. And I think this is why the craziness on the card, she actually reflected my brain in that sense. And again, I really flipped on this, because I knew it was Thoth, but when I looked through it, I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. And again, I was really disappointed. But after that interview, yeah, there was a click. There was something. So yeah, a fan. So yeah, my favorite system is the Thoth, but it's really hard to really get a good other deck that's Thoth based. So I do stick mostly with the original. Like I said, I have some. I have that Sacred Bee one, the first one that came out. I think that's Thoth. I have this one, like I said, the Black Medusa is Thoth. The Urban Tarot is Thoth. Yeah, I might miss something. I think this one is also Thoth, right? Yeah, I think so. So I do have some. And the ones that I do have, I do like, because I feel they do bring something extra. But yeah, this one, definitely my favorite system in that sense. I have more Rider-Waite based decks, but again, because I don't think that every copy made of, well, the Thoth is mostly a success. But again, that's my opinion. So yeah, that's that one. Oh yeah, she asked if I wanted, well, the question was, right? Sorry, they ask. I'm sorry, I really need to mind myself. So the second part of that question was if I wanted to learn a different system. The answer is, well, not at the moment. I read my my playing cards. I'll read my tarot, right away, and Thoth, sorry. I read my oracle. I have different other kinds of divination. I'm sorry. So yeah, I have different other systems of divination I really like. So at the moment, no, not really. The only thing that was once a question if I wanted to learn it was the Lenormand, but I never was really attracted to it. I have one deck, a Lenormand deck, that if ever I get it in my head in the middle of the night that I want to be reading Lenormand, I could start trying. But yeah, till that day, no, I think I'm good. Yes. So the next question was the top 3 favorite major arcanas. Okay, I will put them down. I have different, I put some different decks here. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but I will explain. This is my top 3, and this would be an honorable mention, and I will tell you why. So the Lovers is my birth card, so I definitely have that connection with that card. Um, Also the choice, what it stands for. Um, I think that's always been very important to me, to have a choice, yeah, that it cannot be taken away from you. The Death card is my, well, Scorpio card. I'm a Scorpio. I love that it means those transformations, because yeah, I always welcome them. I never really run away from them or fear them, even if they shake up my life. But I always feel like it's a new chapter, something new is coming, and that always seems to excite me. The Devil, because, like I said, choice is very important to me. It cannot be taken away, because I need to have that control. I need to have that, take that power back, right? Um, I'm the one that well, stands in my way, or opens my way. So in that sense, the Devil. Um, and then this one, the honorable mention, because the Hermit has been my card of the year this year. And in all honesty, I don't always seem to pay attention to a year card, in all honesty. Um, but this year, from the beginning of January already, I found out it was my year card, because I think it was in a video of Queen Asset, from Oya's Girl, where she talked about her year card. And I was like, oh, what is my year card? You know how that goes, right? Again, I found out it was the Hermit. And the moment I found it out, yeah, this card has been stalking me. So I'm actually paying attention to him. So yeah, here are they in the Thoth, because I love them in the Thoth too. Although I don't think I have enough space for them here. And the Hermits, yes, they're beautiful. I love them. Definitely. And then, yeah, I'm gonna do it, because it's one of the decks I'm reading most with lately, and it's my own, the Alkebalan. I'm sorry. Yeah, shamelessly promoting here. No, in all honesty, I really love my deck, so I've been really working with it. So yeah, the Lovers, Death, the Devil, and like I said, honorable mention, the Hermit for this year. Yeah, so those 3 are my favorites. I always seem to look at them, when you get a new deck. It's those cards that you pay that extra second of attention to in your first walkthrough of the deck, right? In your first flip through. So yes, these are those. Then the question was favorite suit of the minors, sorry, and why? Okay, I think my favorite is the cups. I do like the cups. I think because I'm a water sign, I'm always in my feelings. So yeah, I can say that it's definitely my favorite suit. However, even though that's my favorite suit, The fun part is the least favorite suit is the one that teaches me most. That sounds weird. And that's the swords. Because that's really about the mind. And my mind is a hectic, chaotic, place. Let's call it a place. It's never quiet. It never quiets. In the night when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm not. And when I'm sleeping, I have these weird ass dreams. So the mind is still not really resting. My mind is all over the place. So it's not that I don't like the sword suit, but it's like the least that I really pay attention to in that sense when we flip through a new deck, right? But it is the suit that teaches me most. It seems to come up a lot for me in the sense of, well, calm down, rest, and then, yeah, it's easier said than done, right? But yeah, if I can really choose, I would love to get more cups. I love my cups. But yeah, that's that. The other question, number 7, which chords would you consider your significator? And Livy, she explained that of course it's about how you want to see it. It's not like, oh, because they say you are this, you are this. For me, it's the Queen of Cups. When I started many, many, many years ago, as a Scorpio, I didn't really feel like a page, even not in that time. I was also not a knight, and I was definitely not a king. So even in my younger years, when I just started, I really felt the Queen of Cups, even though I still found the Rider-Waite-Smith one funny as hell. Because if you really look close, she looks at a cup that almost looks like a robot, yeah, and she's very, very grumpy. This card always makes me laugh because I cannot unsee what I saw. That cup is a robot, yeah? It's weird. Anyway, so I did associate myself with the Queen of Cups. And then, like Livy said, it was about, well, okay, you don't have to be what you wanted, what the book says you are or whatever. So some years ago, I did that personality testing of something Briggs. I already forgot, I'm sorry. Myers-Briggs or something. Myers-Briggs or something. Yeah, I think that was it. Anyway, I found out I was an INFJ, an advocate personality type. And when I combined that with tarot, because there were websites and also that mix that up with tarot, actually that came to the Queen of Cups, and I kind of felt a little bit validated, right? Like, oh, okay, I'm not weird. Like I already thought I was the Queen of Cups, because I hesitated in doing it because I felt like, yeah, but what if I found out I'm the Queen of Swords, for example? That's gonna take adjustment, right? But at the same time, I felt like, well, what if I associated myself with the wrong one? And it's not really the significator I'm meant to have. So, like I said, I did the test. I became an advocate. That was the personality type. And again, it turned out to be a Queen of Cups, which is actually funny. I was like, there was a part of me that was a little bit disappointed, like, really? I'm not getting a new one? And at the same time, it was very familiar, so which was a good thing. So yeah, that is the one from the Rider-Waite-Smith, of course, Toth, and yeah, my own. I love my own. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm shamelessly promoting here. I just love the depiction. So yes, that is the chords, which is my significator. When we really go away from all of that, and I would need to choose another one. I didn't pick that one out, to be honest, but hey. I think the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Earth, yeah? Because I have this all emotional side, but I also have a very earthy side, very grounded and calm. You don't see that on YouTube, but I promise I have. So I think that that also is a part of me. But yeah, this overall in a reading, when the Queen of Cups comes up, I pay extra attention. Yes, okay. So the other, let me see, let me put these away. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, the other question, yeah, I'm gonna keep my hands busy. The other question was, is cardstock a big deal? Um, is cardstock a big deal for you? For me, in this case, sorry. Yes and no. In all honesty, I think it will depend. Um, I don't care about cardstock at all. Let me start there. I don't give a crap. Yeah. If I love a deck, and that sounds of course weird, so let me explain. Yeah. If okay, a couple of weeks ago, I did a bitchy walkthrough of that Secrets of Paradise tarot deck, and don't get me started. It had very thick, glossy cardstock. Yeah, I hated it. However, I hated it because I hated the deck. Um, if that deck would have been a beautiful deck, I would have maybe been disappointed in the cardstock, but I would not really hate it because I love the deck. You know, I think that is my boundary in that sense. I can handle any kind of cardstock. I'm not always pleased. Um, like I said, if it's really that glossy, thick one that also sticks together, not my favorite. Yeah. But again, if it's a deck I really love, yeah, I don't care. I will use it, because I love the deck. It has something to offer me. Would I prefer it than another cardstock? Yes. Does that stop me from buying the deck or enjoying the deck? No. So that's my yes and no in that sense. If I really love a deck, I don't care. Yeah. If I'm looking forward to buying a deck and then I will find out watching a walkthrough like, oh, it's thick and glossy. Will I stop myself from buying the deck? No. If I really want that deck. If that deck really brings something for me to the table, then again, I don't care. Of course, I love my matte and certain kind of decks, the ones that shuffle easy, that don't stick, and all of that. But again, if I love a deck, if it brings something to the table, then again, I don't care. I really don't. Okay, question number 9 was, do you read for others? Yes, I do. I don't know what else to say on that question. Yes, I do. If you ever want a reading, my information will be in the description of the page and also in the description of this video. Feel free to contact me. That's all I can say about that. Question number 10 was the number 1 deck you are excited to have come out this year. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Wait, move aside. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I was really thinking, yeah, don't get me wrong. I was really thinking about, okay, what deck is coming out this year that I'm excited about? Let me rephrase that question. What deck that I know of is coming out this year that I'm excited about? And it was kind of a chirp in my head, like silence. So, to be honest, yeah, I don't know what all comes out. I actually watch channels like that of Lisa Papes, when she does her hot takes, or what's the other one called again? Is that hot takes? Where she shows, what's coming out. Or the other one, or is that this one? I'm so confused. I'm sorry. Where she talks about that she's not gonna buy it, but at the same time we see decks coming up, right, that are coming out. So videos like that, I will watch, to keep updated as to what's coming out. If she ain't mentioning it, yeah, I'm probably not really in the know. I do have a friend who will keep me updated. She will send me pictures, of like, oh, did you see this? It's coming out. So besides her and Lisa, from Lisa Papes, again, if I don't watch these videos, I don't know what's coming out. It needs to be by accident, by luck, that I will see it on Amazon, that I'm looking at a deck and I'm like, oh wow, and then you see pre-order, like you need to wait, right? um, so again, in all honesty, I don't know. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do right now. What I'm excited about is my deck. Because of all the positive responses, I did dive into how does Kickstarter work and how can I bring my deck, to, well, the masses in that sense. And even though I don't have an official launch date, it will definitely be somewhere in the second part of this year, that it will launch on Kickstarter. So hopefully, that will be something that will go well, that does go well. And then this deck, can be again for the masses. Oh, there was one I was thinking about. One deck I'm, well, a little bit excited about. I think that's the Buffy one. We in Europe still need to wait, I think, a little bit, or it might already be out. I don't know. I need to check. That might be a deck that I might pick up. And that's really a fandom deck, right? Again, this is what I say with aesthetics, yeah. It needs to bring something to the table. I do, for example, have the Supernatural deck, and I hardly read with it. The only reason I bought it is because it's fandom. I love Supernatural, yeah. I can watch that show all day, all night. If I would have nothing else to do. But, and I think Buffy was the same in my younger years, and I still watch it from time to time. I will do a rerun of it. Or Charmed, these are definitely shows that if a deck will come out, I will get it. And in all honesty, I would prefer Charmed over Buffy, I think. I know that there are some Charmed decks out there, but the prices are insane. Crazy insane. I wish I could get my hands on a deck like that for, well, a normal price in that sense. I would love that. That would definitely be a great deck to use, But again, like I said, I would really need to look like what is coming out this year, and I have no clue. So, is this cheating? I don't know, but I am very excited to bring my deck on the market, Sorry, I did it again. Okay, and then there was a lightning round, and this is going to be very hard for me. It's not going to be a lightning round. I'm going to do me, which I don't make choices if I don't have to, right? I don't make choices if I don't have to. I like to have choices, remember? But again, if I don't have to, yeah, I can also choose not to choose. Okay, anyway, lightning round. The question is coffee or tea? Answer depends on which part of the day you ask me. Morning coffee, after 2 in the midday, probably tea. With decks, the question was colors or monochrome. Again, depends on the what the deck has to offer. I don't care color or monochrome, yeah. The deck needs to offer me something, and then it can be color or monochrome, and I will be good with both. So in all honesty, not really a preference. It depends on what the deck holds, Cats or dogs? I love both. Don't make me choose. Okay, if I can't. I love dogs because they're a man's best friend, They're incredibly sweet and cuddly and kind and cute. I love cats because they're arrogant little shits, yeah, and they bring me joy. That's not an answer, I know, but that's the answer. Flora or fauna? Oh, don't make me choose. I'm a root worker, so I think I would go for flora. That's really in my practice, and it's a big part of my life as a human being, yeah. As the woman who loves animals, fauna. Again, don't make me choose. Why are you doing this to me? Favorite time of day? When the sun goes down. There is something about the night when the moon comes up that awakens me, especially spiritually. Um, so yeah, that's that. Favorite things besides tarot. I love to read. I love to write. I love music. When I'm happy, I love to dance around on the music. When I'm quirky and I want to tease my daughter, I will dance too, just, well, to get her cheeks red. Yeah. um, but also when I'm in a crappy mood, I put the music on. It will strengthen me. It will give me power. It will reach my spirit. So yeah, music definitely. But again, writing, reading. I love to cook. Not like an everyday meal that we just make quickly. Don't get me wrong, I like that too. But I love to make a big meal. Cook my Suriname food, for example. That will take time. We are in the kitchen all day, so the music is on. I'm busy in the kitchen. My daughter is helping me out. We're just making a day of it. So that I definitely love to. And of course, after all this, but on number one, just spending time with my daughter, being creative, doing art projects separately but together. Yeah, that's my favorite pastime thing. I even prefer that over tarot. So yes, I think that was everything. I think that were all the questions. Oh yeah, there was one thing I wanted to show you, and it's more to show you what I mean. I know I should have done this before, but hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. When I talk about that a deck needs to bring something, right? I mean, I don't care if it's monochrome or color or aesthetics. Yeah. This one I actually printed myself. The printing is horrific. On some cards it's okay, and on other cards it's terrible. Um, but this deck is amazing. Yeah. It's based on the Adinkra symbols. And I know that there are decks out there. I actually found that out after I was done with this. I thought to be smart and make myself a special deck. Turns out they're everywhere. However, I think some of these decks are 52 cards, and I think I have 62 cards, and there are even more symbols out there, so I can always add. So I have a pretty expensive deck in that sense. And yeah, you can see it here. The printing is horrific. When you look at it, you might think, oh, it's kind of boring, nothing really going on there. But it's deep. It brings something, yeah. Um, no matter what my problem is, and I take this deck, I always get an answer, and I always get a beautiful reading. And like I said, I mean, the front, some cards are really horrific. The back, it has stains of the ink after I printed it, on it. Again, it's horrific. This I printed before I found a printer who would actually print my decks, because this is my Bob Marley one. I made myself too. And this is, of course, beautiful quality, right? I mean, the cards, everything beautiful quality. And I thought about redoing this one in that cardstock, right? Without all the stains and all that. And for some reason, I don't. This deck came about, like I said, homemade, home printer. Yeah. They were everywhere to dry. I mean, everywhere, on every surface that was possible I could dry it. I was drying it. And yeah, you can see it here. It's not beautiful, and yet it's beautiful. So this is a little bit what I meant. I'm sorry. I went to the end and then I went back again. But I think this is the important part. I don't look at tarot, and again, don't get me wrong, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to others or something, absolutely not. But tarot for me, yes, it's a tool, but it's a part of my practice, and it's an important part of my practice. It's not the most important part of my practice, but it's still a very important part of my practice. Um, and again, don't get me wrong, but if I would put here a Kiwai, or what's the name, a tarot, or some kind of cute tarot, it's gonna be taking away of the message, for me again. Um, so whatever the colors are or the aesthetics are, it all comes second to what is in the deck. What is the deck bringing me, you know? Um, and yeah, for me, again, that is the absolute most important part. I don't care what cardstock it is. I don't care colors or no colors. It's all about, yeah, what a deck will bring me. And again, this is definitely not the most beautiful thing ever. I mean, can you see all these doodlies that walk out of the ink? Oh, please let me laugh, otherwise I'm gonna cry. But anyway, like I said, it's the printing quality is horrific. I could make it better, and yet there is definitely a part of me that's no. You know, this is your deck. You love this deck, even with all its flaws. Just for now, at least, you know, keep it. So yeah, again, I went to the end and then I went back again, but hey, that's me. um, so yeah, that was it, I think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are more decks I didn't show, but I think we got the gist of it, right? We got the gist of it. So, again, I wanted to thank Livy from Crescent Dreams Tarot for starting this tag, and again for the motivation behind it, creating community, you know, and I think that's very important. I think there's no other better reason, you know, to create a tag. So I definitely wanted to participate in this one. So again, thank you, Livy. And I hope to see more of your videos soon. I think I did the subscribe button. If not, I will check in a second because I found it and I did the respond. I might have been too fast, but anyway, either I am already or I'm gonna be a new subscriber, because you're absolutely right. Community is everything. And with those words, let's say goodbye. I hope to see you all soon with a new video. Until then, have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, and I'll stay blessed. Okay, bye-bye.